Good evening, everyone. I'm Riley King, and welcome to the Riley King Newscast right here on the Riley King Network. Let's begin. First up, we have breaking news. Police respond to active shooter at YouTube's California headquarters. Police are responding to an active shooter at YouTube headquarters in California Bay Area authorities, cautioning people to stay away. Bruno police. We are responding to an active shooter. Please stay away from Cherry Ave and Bay Hill Drive. Nearby hospital, Stanford Healthcare confirmed that it is treating 4 to 5 patients from the shooting. Their condition are unknown. Zuckerberg, San Francisco General Hospital spokesman Brett Andrew confirmed that the trauma center is currently receiving patients from the shooting. Employees tweeted that an active shooter was in the building and that people inside had barricaded themselves in rooms. Some employees were later evacuated. One employee, Todd, tweeted that he was sitting in a meeting when he heard rumbling from what he first thought was an earthquake, but was really people nearby who were running away. And here are some photos from the scene. Todd said that after someone told him that there was a person with a gun, he looked down and saw blood drips on the floor and stairs. Aerial footage showed people coming out of the building with their hands in the air, surrounded by heavy police presence. Officers in bulletproof vests were then seen entering the building. Police were seen patting down people outside after they left the building. The Santa Bruno Police Department confirmed that police activity was occurring at the building and asked people to stay out of the area. About 1,700 people work on the YouTube campus, ABC San Francisco station KGO reported. The Bureau of Alcohol, Tobacco, Firearms, and Explosives and California Highway Patrol are responding to the scene, and the FBI's office in San Francisco is closely monitoring the situation. Google, which is the parent company of YouTube, said in a statement that it is coordinating with authorities and will release information as it becomes available. Here's what they retweeted. YouTube situation: we are coordinating with authorities and will provide information here from Google and YouTube as it becomes available. This is the developing story. Please stay with us for more updates. And let's watch a little bit of the live stream from ABC News.
Because I see people walking away from YouTube headquarters. So that's foremost in law enforcement's mind as we speak.
Do you allow everyone to leave the vicinity? Because while we're hearing that it's a woman, that she was armed, it seems like someone could have gotten rid of their weapon, right? Maybe it wasn't just a woman. Maybe it wasn't a woman at all. And so it seems like they're kind of frisking these people and letting them leave. But is that the end of it?
Well, think about it this way, Lindsay. If the shooting occurred at one particular location, some reporting is it's an outside area where people eat lunch, but wherever it might be, this is a big campus, and so there's going to be other aspects of this campus. If the police feel that there is no connection and there's no safety issues, you are better off getting people away from these locations because you're trying to be safe as possible, of course, with people. So my guess is that's probably what's going on as far as people.
Okay, and there you go on that live coverage from ABC News. If you want to watch that live coverage, we will share that live coverage with you on the Riley King Network Facebook page. Man whose relatives died mysteriously appears in New Hampshire court. Let's take a listen to the video from WMUR News 9, Amy Cavino.
You, Sean, this is a complicated case, but here we go. Nathan Carmen's grandfather, John Chocolas, was killed back in 2013, shot to death in his own bed. No one was ever charged in that crime. Then in 2016, Nathan Carmen's mother, Linda Carmen, was lost at sea when their boat sank. Nathan was rescued days later, drifting in a lifeboat. Now, today, his aunts are fighting to make sure Nathan Carmen doesn't inherit any of the family's wealth. The three surviving daughters of John Chocolas say Nathan Carmen stands to inherit millions of dollars from his grandfather's trust fund and are working to block that inheritance because they believe Nathan Carmen killed his grandfather and left his own mother to die in a sinking boat. Today's hearing was to ask the court to order Nathan Carmen to cooperate with the case by providing documents such as tax returns and credit card receipts. At issue is a missing Sig Sauer firearm that was purchased in New Hampshire, and attorneys for the family believe was used to shoot and kill John Chocolas. Nathan Carmen is invoking the Fifth Amendment right not to incriminate himself and refusing to provide any information about his firearms.
Are we trying two murder cases here, or are we trying one? And if we're trying two murder cases, if we're saying that the issues at trial are not just did Nathan kill his grandfather or did he not, but also did Nathan kill his mother, did he not, do we not first need to figure out legally whether or not my mom is considered to be deceased?
We've never doubted that Nathan Carmen is intelligent and crafty, that he planned these murders carefully, and that's part of the challenge that the government faces.
Both parties are due back in court in May. The judge strongly advised Nathan Carmen to hire an attorney. Carmen told the court that he just put his house on the market and he hopes to use the proceeds to hire counsel. Live in Concord this noon, Amy Cavino, WMUR News 9.
Okay, and there you go on that video and that report. Police marathon security tight despite no known threats. Let's take a listen to the video from WCVB Boston.
Monster Energy Supercross is not about being in the comfort zone. It's about testing yourself, testing your machine, testing your brain, your body.
Erika, good afternoon. Yes, as you say, state, federal, and local law enforcement officials just wrapped up a news conference here inside the Fairmont Copley Plaza Hotel, and they talked about security preparations, and they said, like in recent years at the marathon, people are going to see dump trucks blocking side streets, surveillance drones overhead in the air, and sharpshooters on rooftops. All Boston police officers will be on duty the day of the marathon, they said. Now, of course, it's been 5 years since the marathon bombings, and the FBI and local officials said that there is no known credible threat to this year's race. However, there will be changes. In fact, changes inspired by last year's Las Vegas casino massacre, but it's nothing that the public will see.
Everyone participating in this year's marathon should know we are working round the clock to ensure that this year's race is a safe and successful one. At this point in time, I can't tell you neither the FBI, other U.S. government agencies, or our state and local law enforcement partners are aware of any specific, active, or credible threats directed at this year's marathon.
So 5 years after the bombings, they're asking the public to remain vigilant and report any suspicious activity that they see. 2 weeks to go until the race, a little less than 2 weeks, but the preparations begin this Friday, the Boston Police Department said, at the finish line.
Okay, and there you go on that video and that report. Elderly tenant identified as Biddeford fire victim. Let's take a listen to the video from WMTW News 8 Maine.
Well, Megan, the smell of smoke is still incredibly strong, and most people in the neighborhood only got their power out back in the last couple hours. You can see behind me, crews spent the night tearing down this building after the fire department deemed it a public safety hazard.
I've never seen anything like that, ever.
More than 12 hours after this Hill Street apartment building first caught fire, crews remained on scene Monday night, putting out hotspots. Kim Gammon lives across the street and says she was home with her daughter when she first saw emergency lights through her window.
I looked outside and I opened the door and there was smoke coming from the first floor, like black smoke, thick black smoke, and there was one fire truck. Then they all just started piling up the road and it went up.
She says within 10 minutes, the building was engulfed in flames.
I thought something might explode or something because, I mean, there was a lot of flames coming out of the top. They couldn't contain it at first. There was a lot.
This afternoon, officials recovering the body of an elderly man who did not make it out. Investigators say they believe the fire started in his apartment.
At this particular point, there's nothing that indicates that it's anything other than an accident. However, due to the extent of damage and the efforts that we had to go through to recover the victim, we'll never know what the origin and cause is.
And this is not the first fire in this building. The Biddeford fire chief says there have been 3 before now, one of them a double fatality back in the late 70s. He says that the owners of this building are local and have been extremely cooperative. He also says that the Red Cross is assisting those who are currently displaced. Live in Biddeford tonight, Aaron Dixon, WMTW News 8.
Okay, and there you go on that video and that report. And now let's take a look at your U.S. stock market and see how your U.S. stock market closed for this Tuesday evening. And here's a look at the stock market for this Tuesday evening, and here's look how it closed. Your Dow Jones Industrial Average closed in the green and went up. Your Nasdaq closed in the green and went up. S&P 500 closed in the green and went up. CNBC IQ 100 closed in the red and went down. Gold closed in the red and went down. Oil closed in the green and went up. US 10-year closed in the green and went up. Euro/USD closed in the red and went down. And VIX closed in the red and went down. Dow closes